I think the first time I applied was 4 years ago, and I applied with a GPA of 6.4 or 6.35 and a GAMSAT of 65 at the time. And I really wanted to go to the more, I don't know, I had, I guess, a bit of a hubris about me, and I wanted to go to the more elite schools like Melbourne Uni or UQ or those kinds of things. And so I applied just based on reputation at the end of the day. And funnily enough, I got knocked back, didn't get an interview, which was devastating, but probably reasonable given the way that I applied.
Just to probe, so that year, do you roughly remember what preferences you had, like how they work out?
Yeah, I did. It would have been more or less like Melbourne, Deakin, ANU, and then like Griffith, UQ, something like that.
Yeah, okay. So like all the sort of high-end sports cars.
Pretty much, yeah. I was going Bentley, Maserati, Aston Martin.
Yeah, when I say high-end, I don't mean the medical schools are better. I just mean like the scores are higher.
The scores, yeah. I really should have been heading for a Prius rather than a Maserati is what we're talking here.
rough. Anyway,
So then the following years, as my score gradually got a little bit better, I was mildly disheartened because so too did the entry scores for all the medical schools. So I think I kind of came into it right at the time where, like, as I was getting better, so too were the entry scores for like 4 or 5 consecutive years until last year when I finally got in. And gradually what happened with my application was I started realizing not only that you needed to be smarter with the way that you applied, but I also started to realize the benefit and like beauty in the portfolio schools and the beauty in actually going to a med school that wasn't one of the more established elite schools. I mean, I'm at USyd now, so I guess that kind of got thrown out the window. But yeah, I really started to see the beauty in having a smaller cohort and a newer course design and all of
what
those
year
things.
would that have been? When
I decided that?
When you did your portfolio sort of focus application? Is that?
So the first portfolio application that I did was in 2017.
Yep.
And I worked on it with you actually.
I remember, yeah.
Yep. And that was my first interview that I got actually. And that was at Wollongong.
Yep.
I actually got an interview at Sydney that year as well. I guess portfolio aside. And I slowly started to realize that there's nothing to scoff at the non-elite schools. Actually, a med school's a med school, and I would be lucky to get into any of them. I guess lucky's not the word. Maybe fortunate is probably a better word.
Yeah. I think that's a really critical point, just to focus in that so obviously everyone will want to have different priorities, whether it's staying at home, near home, or with friends, where friends are going. But ultimately, like if you want to be a doctor and you kind of have to play your cards, maximize your chances, wherever that is.
Yeah.
All right. So that year, you applied with your portfolios to and got an interview offered at Wollongong and Sydney.
Yeah.
Do you remember what GAMSAT score? So obviously GPA was roughly the same.
Actually, the same GAMSAT score that I got in with the following year.
Right. Okay.
So I had a 70 that year.
Yep.
Which was put me way above the curve at Wollongong.
Yeah.
I actually think that's what got me the interview at Wollongong rather than my portfolio, because that year the average was like maybe 61 for the GAMSAT at Wollongong.
And as you can see, like on this table for entrance into 2019, so last year, average GAMSAT was...
It'll be the second set of
data. So it says 60 and 6.32.
Yeah, so that's it. So I was like just a bit above on the GPA and considerably above on the GAMSAT.